Good morning and Merry Christmas, everybody. Ronnie Rance alongside Tommy Chrysan here on this Christmas Eve edition of Sports Shorts. TK in a nice warm environment there, presented by Tremonti's Meat and Seafood today. I am at, as you can see right here, a beautiful location. That is Vail, Colorado, one of the lodges here at the Vail Mountain, Lion's Edge, and as you can see, Tommy, snow on the ground. But look at the mountain across the highway. You see all that brown? You
Yeah,
don't normally see that.
that's
That's a lot of
crazy.
that's a lot of brown. There's over 300 ski runs here on the Vail Mountain. Only 50 of them are open. So there's a lack of snow all over the United States, really. I mean, you look at the ski lodges all over from California to Colorado are having major issues with lack of snow. And so, over here, 50 sounds like a lot, but when you got 300 of them, and thousands of people, it's not a lot of runs open. It's very icy conditions, and the waits to get on the lifts are pretty substantial. But you can see absolutely gorgeous right here where we are. This is just kind of going, that's a little run right here that takes you into the village. You see the ski lifts behind me as the lifts have just opened here. We're 2 hour behind, so it's 8 o'clock, just after 8 o'clock over here. The ski lifts just opened, and no skiing for me today, TK. I'll try to ski tomorrow.
I need an update on Ron on the slopes like yesterday, or you wait until tomorrow?
So
Or we on the bunny
did a day
slope? You
did a
on the
day and
bunny
a
slope or what?
Yeah, I did a day and a half of skiing, very much beginner stuff. Was having a great time. Then I'm getting off of a lift. It's three people getting off of a lift, and a lady I didn't know that was sitting on the outside of me as we were kind of coming down the lift. Got her ski tangled in mine, and we both wiped out. And I did a wishbone at the base of the little lift hill and stretched my leg out a little bit. So I got a little slight MCL pull. But we were resting it for a couple days. We're knee bracing it. We're kind of, we're taking a couple pain meds, and we're gonna go give it a go tomorrow. Because I think it's just a little bit of a strain, and heck, when you hear TK, you got to get it in while you can.
I hear you, Ronnie. Hey, and again, Merry Christmas to everybody. Three NFL football games on TV tomorrow. Triple header. Two of them are on Netflix. One's on Amazon Prime. We knew it was coming the day when NFL, and we've seen other sports. Baseball has a game only on Apple TV, but all three games on the Christmas triple header, two of them on Netflix, and the final game of the night on Amazon.
Yeah, that's kind of strange. I mean, but it's only gonna get worse. It's not gonna get better. I thought all of this cut the cord stuff was supposed to save us money, Tommy. I haven't quite figured out the economics on that, on the save the money, because all it just seems like is you don't realize you're spending more money than you were before. Before you just paid Cox Cable or somebody like that one lump bill, and that was it for your Wi-Fi, for your cable, whatever. Now, you pay 10 different bills. It seems cheaper, but I guarantee it's not.
It's crazy. I was looking into that the other day when I got my direct TV bill. It's I got to look into this, instead of just
Yeah.
letting everything fly out the
I mean, I
account,
I I I know personally, I've got a Direct TV, I've got AT&T, and I know what I'm paying with those two things. And DirecTV is for me is basically like the cable, was. But then I've also got Paramount, and I've also got Netflix, and I've also got ESPN Plus, and all these other. I'm sure Apple TV, whatever. It's like my good, and I don't get a chance to watch all of it. So that's the thing. I think it almost is. I think it's almost better that every time you watch, you sign up for a month subscription and then just cancel it at the end of the month. Because I guarantee you, there's some months where I don't even watch the app, but yet I'm paying for it.
Yeah, you're not the only one in that situation, Ronnie, LSU football Saturday night, the Texas Bowl against the Houston Cougars. Cougars are a 2.5 point favorite, coached by Willie Fritz, former Tulane coach. And LSU missing some key guys on defense, some others, and Frank Wilson's going to coach the game, and he's leaving for Ole Miss. I don't think there's a lot of excitement in about this LSU bowl game.
Not at all. And you're missing your top three defensive players. If you're LSU, you're missing some key offensive lineman depth. You got no, really true scholarship backup quarterback. Your starting quarterback is limited in his skill set. Van Buren, I, I you know. To me, it's not quite as bad as the TCU game a few years ago when LSU had to play a wide receiver, a quarterback, and they got destroyed. But I would definitely don't see how they're going to win this game. It would actually be pretty incredible if they did, because I do feel like there's a lack of care. Players going in the portal, coaches leaving, coming and going, key players coming and going. Is anybody talking about going to the game? I mean, there's not a lot of buzz for this game, even though it's only 4 hours from Baton Rouge. So you could just drive over, go to the game, and drive back if you wanted. You don't even really have to stay in a hotel if you're a Warrior and you want to save a little money. So, I to me, there's a lot more juice for the Houston fan base, the Houston players and coaches, to knock off a big name SEC team versus LSU taking on Houston when, as soon as the game's over, everybody's turning in their gear and going elsewhere.
Yeah, I do know one guy that's heading over there for the game. He tailgates with some friends, and they invited him to come to Houston for the game. So he's the only person I know that's going. I'm sure others are, and there's a big LSU alumni base in Houston. We know that. So there'll be some purple and gold there, but I don't know. That's one of them. Like if you got anything else to do Saturday night, you're probably going to choose that.
TK, to me, it feels like in the NFL, there's a shift going on in a big way. I feel like this is like the fork in the road season for a lot of teams, a lot of franchises, a shift in power away from some of the teams that, were super dominant, quarterbacks that are starting to maybe get replaced by the new Bucks or whatever. Here we go, a little skier right there.
All right.
The slopes just open. Um, there's some more going by me here. Here we go, TK. Let me show you a little bit.
There you go.
It looks easy, doesn't it? I mean, it looks easy, Tommy.
Well, it's
Hey,
like the
Tommy, you can
golf.
do that, huh?
It's like golf. It looks easy, but it's not. It's far from it. Golf looks easy when you watch the guys
Yeah,
on Sunday on
yeah.
TV, but it's not.
Looks so easy.
So so I hope you get back on the slope soon. But I know you got family and friends up there. I know everything's going well.
Yeah, no the question. No, but getting back to the NFL for a second, with Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, how about this with Kansas City? They're talking about moving to Topeka, Kansas, like it's a done deal that they're going to move out of Kansas City with a new stadium because they couldn't get a deal done with the city in the state. Been trying in Missouri, state of Kansas, and Topeka's like, come on, we'll pass some taxes, we'll build you a stadium, and so that's wild. You got the Chicago Bears talking about moving 30 minutes down the road to Cary, Indiana, potentially, or suburb of Chicago. I'm at both teams will keep the name, but they're not going to be located in Kansas City. Not going to be located in Chicago, technically.
Well, you got some of that already. Cowboys are not in Dallas. The
Right.
Jets and the Giants are in New Jersey. Detroit is not in Detroit. I mean, there's other examples of that. Okay,
Yep.
New Orleans is
Arizona, the
in New
Cardinals
Orleans.
aren't in Phoenix. They're in
Yeah, I
Glendale.
mean, New Orleans is in New Orleans. The Saints are in New Orleans, so we'll hang our hat on that with their win streak and hitting the road this week to take on the Tennessee Titans. They're 2.5 point favorite, a game they could win.
Yeah, Titans, of course, got to win against the Chiefs without Mahomes. But as
Well, and
far
they lost
as
their backup too. Minshew tore his ACL.
yeah, yeah, talking about the Chiefs. I don't know who's
Yes,
going to play
and
quarterback for
they
them.
might call Joel Davis to play quarterback.
I was thinking maybe Drew Brees gets a call. Hey, how about Phillip Rivers?
Uh,
I mean, even though they're 0-2 with him at quarterback, but he can't play defense, and they gave up. Well, the defense gave up 42 points. Phillip threw a pick six, put him at 49, but still, he's played well, man, and that's incredible. It goes to show you how cerebral the game of quarterbacking is in the NFL. That a guy who's 44 years old, been at home for 5 years, still in the game though, coaching high school football, so still keeping the wing loose and the mind sharp. But it just goes to show you, he comes off throws for almost 300 yards and threw back-to-back touchdown passes on his first two drives the other night against San Francisco. First time he's done that in his career, and since like 2012. It's a great story. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like the Colts are going to make the playoffs. They had an 88% chance of making the playoffs after week 8 of the season, and now it's down to 5%. So not going to happen for the Colts. But the Philip Rivers story is incredible.
I saw Todd McClures post. He said he throws the ugliest, prettiest ball in the
Yeah.
league. And Todd said, "Hey, if you need a guy to stand, an old center to stand on the sideline, I'll do it," because their center got hurt the other night. But Rivers is a grandfather. He's playing quarterback, and obviously, up here matters at that level when you at any level when you're playing quarterback. It's been cool to see it.
It really is because, Philip Rivers has always thrown the ugliest pass, even when he was 22 years old. I remember watching him at NC State thinking, because they talk so good about him, he's such a good player in college. But watching him play, I was like, oof, I don't like the way he throws the ball. That's never going to work in the NFL. Well, 18 plus years of playing in the NFL, I was wrong. Clearly, I'm not a scout. But the fact that he was able to do what he did, and I mean, a guy looks like a tight end or a backup tight end at that at this point in his career. But I think it's so cool. His high school players are getting a chance. St. Michael's High School, where he coaches in Alabama, getting a chance to watch games and see their coach, and his 10 kids are able to watch him play one more time. I mean, it's the best story. Unfortunately, it's not going to be a Hollywood ending by them making the playoffs.
I agree with you. It has been cool to one for the old guys. You and I are a little bit older than him, but a shout out for the old guys.
But I'll tell you this though, I watched that 49ers game the other night as they knocked off the Colts. 49ers are for real, Tommy. In a season where in the NFL it's wide open. I mean, anybody can win. If you just get into the playoffs, you can win the Super Bowl. I think every single team that makes it to the playoffs legitimately has as good a shot as another to make it to the Super Bowl. And you're talking about the NFC West looks like the NFC West of the late 80s, with the top three teams, Seattle, the Rams, and the 49ers also good. And all of those teams could make it. But I think the 49ers are like coming into their own. Obviously, I think they've won 5 in a row, have been super dominant, scored over 30 points in all those games. But the combination of what their experience, their coaching, a quarterback who's been there and done that. I mean, 49ers to me, McCaffrey healthy. I feel like, how about Mentor, the former LSU Tiger with a big pick six in that game? I feel like the 49ers are, as good a chance as anybody. And I like their chances. I even put a little futures on them a few weeks ago, Tommy, and put like $50 on them. I think I win like 500 or something if they win the Super Bowl. And that value's going way up because I think now you put $50 down, you probably win about $300. So I'm looking
Well,
forward to the NFL playoffs because unlike some years where those first couple round games are really meaningless because those teams have no shot, I think everybody's got a shot.
Well, the 49ers are doing what you're supposed to do. Play your best at the right time of the year. We always had Skip Bertman say, "Hey, after April 15th, you better play your best after tax day." So, it's
And
it's about getting hot at the right time. We've seen that in all sports.
And how about team again? This is where I'm talking about the shift in all the young quarterbacks and the new guys. Obviously, Jaden Daniels got hurt this year, but what he did last year with the Redskins and the Commanders and taking them on a run in the playoffs. You got Caleb Williams now coming into his own in Chicago. Their potential number 1 seed. But I mean, now you got the Chiefs dropping down. You got the Lions looking like they're not going to make the playoffs. They have to win 2, and if the Packers lose 2, that's not going to happen. You got the Eagles that have had their bobbles a little bit, although I still don't count them out when they get to the playoffs again, that kind of year. I feel like, and you got the Carolina Panthers, popping up. Nobody thought the Panthers were going to win the division, and right now they went out. They're going to win the NFC South. So it's definitely, Denver Broncos with Bo Nix in his second year. They're potentially a number 1. They are the number 1 seed. I mean, there's no way people thought the Bo Nix and Sean Payton a year and a half ago that they would be the number 1 seed this year, supplanting Buffalo, supplanting the Chiefs. I mean, it's incredible stories that are developing. You got to learn the new names and the new faces, but the stories are amazing.
I agree with you completely. It's going to be a fun down the stretch, and it's going to be fun playoffs, just like the college football playoffs, which are still a little more than a week away. But it's all going to be fun and exciting, and there's going to be some surprises. We just don't know exactly where they're coming from.
Yeah, and Tyler Shuck, by the way,
Uh,
um, what he did in the second half of that game last week. I mean, like that. I mean, Tyler Shuck's going to be the king of a Mardi Gras parade. There's no doubt about it. Especially if they finish and win out, which is very likely. You're taking on a terrible Titans team and a Falcons team that has nothing to play for. So I mean, the Tyler Shuck story is going to be all we're going to hear about in the off season.
I
All right,
agree.
TK, I'm gonna
So
let you go, man. Merry Christmas.
all right, Merry Christmas, Ronnie Rance from Colorado. Do like and share this show. Merry Christmas to everybody. We appreciate everyone that watches Sports Shorts Daily. So many of you watch it live. Many people watch it later in the day, watch it that night. We're starting to generate some promotional clips. And look, Merry Christmas to everybody. We appreciate all the folks, family, friends. I'm going to spend the whole day with family tomorrow. And friends tonight and Friday, the whole bit. So we will have another episode of Sports Shorts Daily on Friday morning. I don't know where I'll be, don't know where Ronnie will be, but we'll be here for you. Again, Merry Christmas, everybody. Enjoy every minute. And, hope you have a good one. And we will talk to you soon. Merry Christmas.